Welcome everybody to this week's potentialization, and just a reminder, this session is being recorded and it will be available on our YouTube channel with all of the previous recordings as well, if you'd like to go there and have a look at all of our previous interviews. So this week we have got Zulay Newell with us, and she is going to be talking about unfolding origami and mental well-being. So welcome, Zulay.
Well, it's an honor to be here, and I'm really, really positive this tonight because I can see a lot of people that are going to enjoy, because the idea is that we're going to actually experience the well-being of origami. And I know that is a subject that so many people think, oh no, it's not for me, but actually it's for everybody. And yeah, Phil, if you want to ask me any question, and I'm happy to answer you.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I love the idea of it anyway, because it's creative, and because anything you do where you connect your hands to actually creating something, I always find it's the same actually, as if you type it into a computer, I get more disconnected with that than if I'm physically writing it down. I find I connect to it more. So I wonder if it's a similar sort of thing. But could you just start off, please, just explaining a bit about yourself, and sort of a bit about your history and how this came about, really, using origami for mental well-being?
Well, it's quite a long journey actually, because
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, it started when I was a child. I will say I was 9-11 years old when I discovered origami with my brother, and we learned how to make an origami frog. And however, I didn't do origami again until I went to a difficult period in my life, and I ended up in hospital. And that's in a nutshell. But to say a little bit about me, I will start with my family, and it's I come from a very united family from Venezuela, and where the values are about love, about caring, and I grew up in a divorced family, but however, my father, he was always in the background. And for 3 occasions during the year, I used to do 3 greeting cards, that in England is a very big thing, greeting cards. But I used to do Father's Day, his birthday, Christmas, and he still treasures those cards and cards, in a box, and I'm 47. And it's something that those are, I will say, my early memories of being creative.
Yeah.
But because I was quite good at math, science, chemistry, in Barquisimeto, that it was my city, it was a very good university, one of the best in Venezuela. I ended up studying chemical engineering, and it's something that I don't regret at all, because I was hired even before I ended up university, and I became powder coating specialist. And yeah, that was what I said, it was my path. But because my mom was biomedical science and she used to work in hospital, I always thought that my path will be about social care, about caring for people. But I don't know, life turns you around sometimes.
It does indeed. It does. Yeah, that's fascinating. So, talking of kind of the social care piece and your creativity, how does origami help calm the mind?
Okay, I will come to that. And it's basically a journey. I came to England 17 years ago to learn English for a short course. And I realized I needed more time. And basically, after a year and a half, I met my husband. And we moved around quite a lot. And I couldn't have children. I have a really difficult miscarriage that quite impacted my life. And I thought it will never happen. But my daughter came in 2009. and coming to the moment when it was really hard for me because things were very difficult at home. And I ended up in a women's refuge, and from there to a psychiatric hospital. However, those are experiences that shape you and make you stronger and more empathic, and sometimes you have to fall, to like get up. And yeah, it was in hospital actually where I have that moment that now we call mindfulness and we call ikigai also.
Yeah.
I'm sure that everybody now know about that term, but 11 years ago, when I was in hospital, I didn't even know about origami. The only thing that I could remember, it was that frog that I did with my brother when I was 11. And basically, we were around a table, just patients around. And there was an activity coordinator. They are always like very nice and try to encourage you. But that's what I'm talking about, the mind, people can appear to be calm, but they aren't, because in their mind, they just go around problems about traumas and yeah. But in that moment around the table, I just saw the paper. It was like crayon, other things. And I just took that piece of paper and basically started to remember what I did when I was a child. And actually I got one, it was like, it wasn't something easy, but I just started doing it, step by step. I like to put eyes to things. But yeah, the frog actually jumps, And after I did one and he jumped, the patients started asking me, oh, can you do one for me? Can you do one for me? And in the end, it was that I will teach you how to make one. And I went home after a few weeks and I said, this origami was like a really nice moment, and I'm going to learn more.
Yeah.
Yes, but it wasn't so like straightforward, it took me some time. Yeah.
And you find that it helps with the mental well-being, with the creativity, and it calms the mind.
Yeah, basically, when you experience something, and it's good for you, actually you want like just to share that. And I learned how to do something that is quite, it was quite interesting for me because this is more than 11 years old, At the beginning, I used to do like, I will say more origami and complicated things because I used to love following diagrams, What happened is that I did this one, similar ones to presents for friends. And I went back to the hospital to the activities coordinator. And I said, Chris, origami, is helping me a lot. I would love to be a volunteer here in the hospital teaching origami to the patients. And that's how I went, there and how it's all unfolding.
Wow.
Because it became a therapy, not just for the patients, just for myself, sharing what was helping me. And eventually, I become more involved in craft and being creative because my creativity until that point, it was dormant. And that has been my life, dedicated to my daughter that it was just little and it has been like growing up and you can see in the picture, it's like, but yeah, she's 12 now and a half. And but yeah, it has been a journey of like, I will say bumps,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But you're so right. It is just all a learning experience, and you've got to go through these things. And it's not just go through them, but it's grow through them and become stronger for them. And you've got to find whatever works for you to connect to almost a higher place where you can feel good and you can feel valued. And people do it in different ways, and it's absolutely fascinating that you found it through origami and connecting from the mindfulness and the creativity, and that you used that to also help others that were in hospital and needed support as well. And then it was not only creating for them, but also showing them how to do it themselves, which is brilliant. So can we kind of do some, because I'm dying to try. I've not done this in school, and I think last
let's go for it, you know.
yeah, that's it, isn't it? So what do we need? What do we need? So
Okay.
I've got a few bits here.
Okay, I will show you what I call a magic tool that everybody have at home, and it's a spoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is perfect. We need any A4 paper, you know, that even if you are going to throw away, just we need two. Yeah. Actually, we're going to make our own origami paper, because hopefully after this experience you will want to try the proper one, because there is nothing like origami paper. The texture and the grams are perfect to fold. That's why we need the spoon to help us. In the beginning, when I was like, I will say freelance crafter, and I used to go for like, everybody like goes for like the best tools, you know, and this, it was an intimidating tool. You know, this is like the proper folding tool.
Right.
But since last year, I started doing that.
Okay.
And yeah. Okay. I will say that it's important the bit about Ikigai, because I think, you know, regardless creativity, we all have a purpose in life, and we have to uncover that. And sometimes we go to have different bumps and life change directions, you know, and you have to reinvent yourself. And there is also, you know, I actually started learning more about the Japanese philosophy, about, you know, you might recognize this one. This is a very famous one for, but basically it's like, sometimes you will find inspirations in like strangest places, you know, and that will take you to other places. There is one that is really interesting, and we can go after into the folding, but is you must know about this. Have you ever seen something like that? This is a Daruma doll, you know, and basically is something that is really like engraved in the Japanese philosophy, and it's basically the 7 times down, 8 times up, you know, and that is like, it's Nana Korobi Yaoki, and it's sometimes they have these funny faces because it's about courage, you know, and also they usually, you have one eye in white, you know, and it's because you have a goal, you know, something that you need to accomplish, something that you dream of, you know, and it's like, yeah, when I started mixing origami and crafting, we're going to go into that now, and this is one of the things that I create recently, you know, and it's basically that is a Daruma, it's a cat with a, you know, courage face, you know, and yeah, and when you accomplish the goal, you just put the other one. And yeah, I will say that I'm a hybrid between origami, because I have learning for many years, and now the crafting, because is more fun, you know.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Okay, are we ready to go for some folding, everybody?
Has everybody got everything? So I've got with me, I have got 2 pieces of paper. I've got the teaspoon. I've also got a pen. And I've also got some scissors, just in case.
Yeah, actually, I will show 2 methods. You know, it's that basically we can use the spoon, you know, and that makes the process more mindful. You know, when you actually just break the paper in half, you know, and yeah, we are going to do it from the point of view that it's not about what we're going to accomplish, what we're going to create. Is about the process of calming yourself, because basically with origami at the beginning, there is that element that you don't know what you're going to do, and that's normal. You always have a sort of tension, but as long as you carry on, you know, it's like the senses, the paper, the way that you are doing something is just incredible. And I will like to hear your experience after we have done it, okay?
Yeah,
And I'm going to basically use, I guess you will be using white paper, yeah? But I'm going to use a blue paper just to like, for easy to see, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm going to change my camera right now. Okay, hopefully you're seeing my hands now.
Yes.
Good. Okay, the first that we have to do is to create the squares, you know. And to do that, we're going to put the paper in a landscape position, yeah?
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to, everybody's different. If you're left-handed or right-handed, all that we need to do is like fold it in half, yeah? Like it was basically a book that you're going to fold, yeah?
Yeah.
Another trick, you know, is that about the senses, is like holding it and actually feeling, you know, when you feel that you reach the edge, you know that you are in the half of the paper, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's when you come down, yeah? And because we're using a paper that must be around 80 grams or 70 grams, we just should use the spoon, you know, to help us.
Oh,
And
interesting. That's what it's used for.
yeah, and I would like now to do that I said about mindfulness and about being present in the moment and the senses, you know. And we're going to open it up, yeah, and we're going to turn it around, and we're going just to use the spoon again. And we're doing this because we're not going to use the scissors, you know. And hopefully, don't be shy, just press it, you know. It's not going to be rip the paper, you know, but it will make a fold that it will be so nice for you to do this that I'm going to do. You're going to put your hands down, yeah? And you're not going to hear me now. I just want you to do the rip and very like gentle and very slow, yeah? If it goes wrong, don't worry, it's no problem. Great, you managed.
Yes.
Okay, let's do one more, and this time we do it quicker, yeah? Because we're going to use the scissors, okay?
Yeah.
Basically, what we're doing now is just pure preparation, yeah?
Yeah.
However, we are already doing origami because ori means paper and gami, it means to fold.
Cool.
Yeah. Yes, even if you're folding a little corner in a paper, you are doing origami.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and because I love how it rips, you know, I will just rip my.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's go for it, yeah? I want you to take one of the rectangles and put it now into a landscape. Yeah. And we're going, if you are left-handed or right-handed, just go with the corner that you feel more comfortable. And what you have to do is like taking it right to the edge. Yeah. And the way of doing it in a mindful way and that it will turn out perfect is that you take care of this corner here. Yeah. And imagine that you are doing a paper aeroplane that is very pointy. Yeah. And you just take your time until basically it's pointy and this is a line. Yeah. And after you come and do the fold. By doing this, you are already creating a perfect square. Yeah. And I basically will show you that you might not see clearly, but you are going to have a rectangle here and a triangle. Do we have that? Okay, you are here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So,
basically, yes, you take this corner and you are going to have a rectangle here. All that we're going to do is just to cut that off. Now we definitely need the scissor, okay?
okay.
Just take off the rectangle, yeah?
Yeah.
And you should end with a perfect square. And let's do one more just for preparation, yeah? And with that one, we're going to do about 3 different things. Again, you take, I'm going to demonstrate with the other corner, yeah? You take the corner and you mind that this one is quite pointy, yeah? One is pointy, you take it right to the edge. And when you feel that, oh yeah, it's okay, it will be a perfect square, and you're happy, you do it. It's like with everything, it's about preparation and taking the care.
Yeah.
And also, if you start well, usually finish well, you know. That phrase that if you plan, you know, if you don't plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
Okay, we should be ready by now, yeah? And we are going to start very simple, yeah? With the years, I have basically realized that everybody is different, and it's better to start all at the same level, even if somebody have done it before, yeah? Okay, and all that I want you to do now is just to fold the paper in half. And again, because it's a smaller, try to do this, just like feel the edge. And once you're happy, put it down and use the spoon. So far, so good?
Just folding now. Cool.
Okay, another tip. Always work on a flat surface, you know. Okay. It's like, yeah, it's very important. I forgot to say that. Most of the folds are done on a flat surface because you need sharp creases, you know. I don't know how you were using the spoon actually on the air.
I put it down on the table with the spoon, yeah.
Okay, no worries. Now we're going to fold it in half and we're creating a little square. Yeah, it's like folding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically look like a book. That's when I start like encouraging creativity, you know. What do you see there? It's like a little square, you know, and with origami is so much symmetry that is really lovely. Basically, you are going to have a crease in the middle, you know. With this one, it was created just to basically do the square, you know, but we have to ignore that crease and we have to concentrate in the one in the center, yeah?
Yeah.
And now we're going to take both sides to the center.
Okay.
Yeah, and by this time you will realize that it's better to work on the flat surface, okay?
Yeah.
And also to use the spoon because you have a couple of layers, yeah? Every time that you fold the paper, you have more layers to fold and it becomes more difficult if you are working with a paper that is not origami, yeah? And for example, when I did this frog before, just to calm my mind, by the way, before the interview, this is origami paper and it's handmade paper and it's so easy to fold, and also you can do many folds and you don't need a spoon.
Oh wow.
Yes, but the idea is that paper is so available and you should be able to use anything, yeah? Well, any A4 that you have around. Okay, now this is a very important part and it's basically one of the most important folds. I will say one of the most important is the right word in origami, and it's called a squash fold. When we do origami, it's usually the terms are quite simple, you know, and what you have to do is just take one of the flaps and put it vertical
Yeah.
You know. And this is the test, you know. You are going to put your finger and you are going to squash, you know, remember that we're doing a squash fold. But the trick here is that you're going to align this line with the line underneath. And imagine that's what we're creating, a little house, you know. And it has to be perfect, you know, take your time. It has to be that the line at the top aligned with the one underneath. Are we there?
Yep.
Okay, now you leave the other, and usually when you do it the second time, it's easier because you know what to do. You're not going to feel that stress about, yeah? And all that you're going to do is just like doing symmetrical, yeah? And basically squash and down. And try to do it that it looks very similar to the one that is next to.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. This could be something really childish, but it can have a very like big meaning for some people, you know, I think for everybody. And it's like that a house is, it shouldn't be a house, it should be a home. Yeah. That's one of the things that I have worked with homeless people, with crisis, and yeah, it's basically sometimes your home could be like in the street, but that is your home, you know. And anyway, from now, that is something that I will say quite simple, is meaningful. We're going to do something useful, yeah? And yes, and we are very into stamps, you know, to send posts, you know, and sometimes we don't find it, you know, but if you have something like this, yeah, that we're going to create, I don't know, could be easy to find the stamps, yeah? And what we're going to do is turn it around, turn it over, yeah? And basically, we're just going to close the gates, yeah? You're going to have a fold here and a fold here. That is going to be your guideline. And you're going to take it right to the center, yeah? You're not going to do any new folds. You basically taking it to the center. By doing this, you have symmetry. You have the same thing on both sides. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to use my marker just for you to be able to see exactly where I want you to take the first flap, yeah? Flap, yeah. You will find that there are two triangles, yeah? I would like you to take the flat just to the edge of those two triangles, just to the edge, okay? I'm just going to put a little bit down for you not to see the black mark. Yeah, are we okay? Okay, now let's see. It's only the first flap, okay? Not the two, just only the first. The first one that you encounter, yeah?
Yeah.
And you turn it over. Yeah, the second time is always easier because you just have to repeat the same. And now you have a guideline that you shouldn't go over that one. And by this, you have created, I will say like a sort of women purse. Yeah? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to make it more like wallet or like a purse. Yeah, and sturdier also. Yeah, and you're going to take the flap. You are not going to do any new folds. You're just going to turn it over one more time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You turn it over and you do the same. Yeah. By this time, you will have the same purse, but it's sturdier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Well, that size is perfect for stamps. You know, you can put a large one here and a small one here.
Cool.
Okay, now we're going to do something fun, yeah? And it's like, I want you to hold the stamp holder, and I want you to take these two fingers, and you're going to introduce those fingers right to the bottom Yeah? Do we have that? Okay,
yeah.
perfect. Now, I would like you to think that you're going to bite your finger, okay? Just you're going to come with your finger and just bite it.
Wow.
Yeah? Okay, and you are going to end with a funny face. Did you?
Yep, I've eaten my finger now.
Okay, yeah, well, that's when the imagination or like Amazon come in with like stickers, you know.
Brilliant.
Basically, this one is like origami paper. It's a lot easier to fold, but there are also like different colors in both sides. See?
Yeah. Fab.
Good.
This isn't too far off, is it? That's pretty good.
No, it's perfect. You know, the thing is that everybody will have a different face because you have a different finger. You know, it's like, yeah, but it is, you know, I have done foxes with this. I have done like a really cute doggy. And, but yeah, this is something like for older people and, you know, children. I don't know, this is always a must that I have to do.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you feeling about doing something else, something useful?
Brilliant.
Good.
Brilliant. Sounds good to me.
Okay. Let's go and take the next one. Okay. With this one, we're going to use the skills that we already learned. Yeah. And we're going to create something that is very loving. Yeah. And I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Cool.
And we're going to fold it in half. Yeah. Remember about going to the edge. Flat surface, okay?
Yeah.
You go to the edge and you just fold. Yeah. Okay, this time that fold needs to be quite neat in the sense that we need to see it, yeah? Because you are working on a white paper, and me on a blue, you know, still quite tricky, but we got a fold, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, basically I will show you this one is easier, yeah? You will have a fold that will go here, yeah? Now I would like you to like open. Yeah. Yeah. And you're going, you're working on the air. Just work on the surface.
I'll put it back down. Yeah.
Okay. You take the edge of the paper right to the center. Yeah. And you just help it with the spoon. Basically, you are just doing this. You have that fold here and you take it here. Yeah. Okay. Without moving anything, yeah, without moving the paper, all that you have to do is to flick the paper. Are you seeing, Phil, how I'm doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. You just flick it over. Yeah. And if you can do a peep that you can see that fold that you just did before. That's important because if some people tend to do like, okay, I turn it over and they turn it like that and that's it. That way it won't work. Okay, now we're going to do another one that we already learned. That is about folding it in half like it was a book. Yeah, and we're going to open it up and we're going to be mindful that we are going to have a fold in the center, you know. We usually do origami folds just only like guidelines. It's quite annoying sometimes, but it's like we need those guidelines to be able to go exactly to the middle. Yeah. And now I want you to remember when you used to do paper aeroplanes, because this one, it looks like a paper aeroplane. You're going to take the corner, and I think it's useful if you put your finger right at the edge of the line, yeah? And you take the corner just to that center, yeah? In this occasion, it's very important that you do it quite accurately, you know? Just take your time. And you do the same with the other side. Good. I wait for everybody. John, good? Perfect. Okay. Now, you're going to do the other side, and I would like you to like do it that is quite pointy, yeah?
Yeah.
And it looks quite equal and symmetrical, yeah? Remember that I told you that we're doing something loving, you know. Usually when you do something with love, you take care, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I would like you to turn it over. Yeah? And
Yeah.
the test is that you should have like a little triangle with a pocket. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now, you're going to take the tip right to the top. And in this occasion, you really need the spoon because you will find many layers, you know. And you just basically, you're going to fold it in half, but with that point going straight away to the top of the line. And in there, you really need the spoon. Are you okay? We're nearly there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now we turn it over and we're going to apply what we just learned when we did the house, yeah? You remember the squash fold? Yeah, we're going to do a little one. I'm going to put it in this position, yeah? Basically, you're going to leave one and you're going to squash it. But this time, when you squash, remember how it have to look. It have to look like a little house where you align the line that you see in the triangle with the line underneath.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, don't turn it on the other side, you know, because that's a surprise. Now, you are going to do the same thing on the other side and try to do it as symmetrical as possible and as if you were doing a smoking bowl. You know how you say that when you know, men go to like a really like posh event. Okay, we got like a little bowl here. We got it?
Almost.
Almost, okay. Perfect. Okay.
Yep, sorted.
Okay, perfect. Now you're going to focus in these little squares here, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it doesn't work exactly, but you know, you will see, you know, you will let me know. Mine, it doesn't look too bad, but it's basically taking this corner and folding in half, yeah? To make a peak, you know, to make like a mountain, yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes it works out that you have done a millimeter different fold and you will have a gap. That is not like an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully we should have that. Do we have it? We should have two mountains at the top. The trick is that you're going to do it exactly to the edge and both will look similar.
Yeah.
Show me, Phil, I don't trust you. Good.
Similar?
Good, yeah. Good. Okay, now we're going to do what we learned before. But before, these little mountains here, we have to be a little bit fiddly, yeah? Mm-hmm. But I would like to take one at a time. And I'm going to help you, like telling you where you have to go. Yeah? Basically, it's gonna be fiddly, but you just have to like fold it, just the tip, just to that edge. Only to that edge. Don't go further, okay? Okay. And basically, you do the same with the other one. Got it?
Oh, it's quite fiddly, actually.
Yes, I know. And if you're working with smaller paper, it's even more fiddly, but it's lovely. You will see why. Okay, done?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to do what we did before, but this time we don't have the folding here, but we have a fold in the middle that we're going to use it as a guideline. And all that we're going to do is just to fold like a cupboard to the center. and try to use the spoon. And with this, we have finished a lovely bookmark that I would like you to like keep treasure. Okay? You want to turn it now?
Getting there, getting there.
Okay, it's just folded into the center.
Yeah.
In theory, I usually use like you know, a sticker. You know, it's like here. Look at this one. Made with love.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah?
Really lovely, yeah.
Have you turned it?
Yep.
Well, can you see?
Oh, a lovely heart. Fabulous.
Yes, but it's the meaning between the heart. The heart is just, you know, caring and love and passion. You know, it's just one of the folds that I usually do because it's just surprising. You know, especially perfect. Oh, that was lovely. I have done this with group of ladies that basically they don't show the faces, but they ended up doing that. You know, like showing the hearts. You know. And yeah, I just, this is one of my nicest ones.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I don't know how we're doing with the time. I just want now to take your time and tell me how you're feeling.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that, and it's nice to be creative. And the heart took me by surprise because we spent the whole time working on the other side, if you like. And it's just nice to do something creative and yeah, just enjoy doing it. Basically, yeah, really lovely.
Yeah, also when it's meaningful, you know, it's like, for
Yeah,
example, for Christmas, you know, because the cards are flat, you know, you can put one in and put the initial of the person, you know. I have done that over Christmas, and it's also something handmade. It gets to the person more than something that you buy, you know. Of
yeah,
course, for men, it's a little bit different, you know, but it's like, as you can see, you know, you made a lovely heart there. And if you put the word love or care or hope, you know, you enhance what you have done. And
yeah,
as I said, it's also in the process, you know. The first time that you do it is always a little bit of like tension or I don't know, it's difficult. But when you do it the second and the third time, and when you basically learn that by heart, you know, it becomes more meditative. You know, it's like basically you doing it and you are taking the care and you are present in the moment. That's where I come between the link mindfulness origami, because there is no way that you could be like having a thought, oh, I need to eat or I need to walk the dog and be like folding at the same time. It's quite tricky, you know, because that's why I said, you know, it calms your mind and it gives you focus, attention. And there are also many other benefits, you know, that they have been using it in Japan for many years about like exercise in the hands, you know, after people have surgery for rehabilitation, you know. But more and more, you know, you have seen the benefits and I seen the connection between Japan origami, their philosophy is something that it was very attractive to me, and that was what got me better, you know. And even when my life is very bumpy at the moment, again, but it's like that made me resilient, you know, and helping other make you more empathic, you know, and going through difficulties. It's like sometimes we tend to think like, oh my goodness, how much can I take? You can take a lot if you are well in your mind, you know, because
yeah,
that's where everything lies in, you know. It's like many of our illnesses start first in the mind and after become in the body, you know. But yeah, I hope you enjoy, you know, and yeah, if you basically like it, you know, it's like try to like unfold it and fold it back, you know,
yeah,
and take another piece of paper because you have one left over and try to like go through the process because it's quite fresh, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Now,
Lovely, thank you.
and yeah, thanks for explaining everything around it as well. Really appreciate it. Are there any questions coming at all, John? Or has anybody got anything they'd like to say? How did everybody else find it?
I did the second one okay, but the first one okay, but the second one I think I used a square bit of paper instead of a rectangular bit, and I got it wrong. So I had to abandon it halfway through.
No worries. That is, you know, as I said, is in the process. You know, if you manage to accomplish one of the 4 or 5 things that we did, that is an accomplishment. And what happened is that make you confused. You know, is we were working in the squares. You know, it's like that. That's why we made
So
the
we were.
preparation.
Oh, then it was me, not you. I'll watch the video and do it again.
Oh well, that would be lovely. But yeah, it's like basically it will be easier just to buy the proper origami paper. It's very cheap, you know, in Amazon, and the feeling of something coming from Japan, you know, and I don't know, is another level. But the tip that I will say, you know, if you really like it, you should try first with scrap paper, recycling paper, and after start progressing, you know, slowly. You know, it's like do what attracts you more. You know, it's like at the beginning, I used to do, how can I put it, complicated things, you know, that didn't have any glue or anything like that, because I was attracted to that. But sometimes, you know, your path change, because I'm not going to go in hospital to teach this to a patient, you know, because it's, you know, it's quite worrying, you know, it's difficult. But if I do it for myself, you know, it's like sometimes you have to be a bit selfish, you know, and I'm learning that, and exactly in that process, you know, to do more things for myself, because I haven't for a long time, I haven't included myself in that circle of care. I have been like, you know, helping others. It did help me, you know, it keep helping me, you know, but it's also about self-care, you know, that is a priority, you know. And when you're doing origami, you know, usually you are going to be doing it on your own, you know, and that's when you will feel more tranquil, you know, and it will be very beneficial. I guarantee that.
Wonderful, wonderful, thank you. And so what's the difference between origami paper and ordinary paper, can I ask?
Oh, of course, you know, that's
Or...
very easy. It's about the grams, you know. It's like when they made the pulp, you know, when they put the pieces of paper, you know, it's basically there is a thickness, you know, and there is a press, you know. It's all a process, you know, but I'm being very basic here. But in terms of numbers, it's easier, you know. For example, in Euro, UK, we use A4, yeah? Most of A4 that you go in they go in the photocopy machine, you know, that you print, is between 80 and 70. And if you're going to like do something really good, a presentation or, you know, a CV, you do it in 100 grams, you know.
Yep.
120 will be like too much, yeah? Yeah, well, imagine origami paper is between 40 and 60 grams.
Right, so it's lighter.
That's how easy, but it's very strong, you know. And you know, it's like this, you know, it's a pleasure to fold, you know. But it's like, as you can see, you know, it takes the folds very well, and it's so easy for your hands to do it. The texture, you know, it is really good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for that. Really do appreciate it. Was there another question just come in? Not sure.
I was just going to say, I think my heart's a little bit broken, but it's not too bad.
Let me see. No, no, it's perfect. As long, okay, as long as you can put it in a book, you know, and that's it. You know, I will put the one that we actually did, you know. Yeah. And as long as you can mark your book, you are okay, because it's a bookmark. See?
Wonderful. Brilliant. cool. The book matches the background too. Brilliant. Cool. Did you have another question, Darren? Was it?
I asked,
Oh, yeah.
Can you fold a piece of paper more than 8 times?
Yeah, well, it always depends about the grams, you know. If we're talking, it depends of the paper. I will say that one of the most interesting thing about the A4, you know, is how you can scale it up, you know. It's like, I will show you something like quick, you know. It's like with an A4, I created this design, you know, that it has been quite popular. It was like for a conservation of the red squirrels in England. And basically I created for an A4, you know, and I was able to scale it into like A3 and A1, you know, but it depends what you're doing, and it depends about the grams, you know. But yeah, I think there is an exact number of how many times, you know. It's like but to be honest, the more you know, you know so little. There is like so much to learn, you know, and about paper and about Japan. I haven't been there. That's one of my bucket lists, you know. And I will say I know more about Japan than UK for sure. And but yeah, it's just really interesting because paper is available more than any other material, you know. And since I started working with a spoon, it's like people said, "Oh my goodness, yeah, it's so easy," you know. And but that was an American lady actually that, you know, I got that tip from, because for children it's easier, you know, and they feel like identify with like eating, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you can tell, you know, origami is for all. For like, I do it with elderly. I have done it with like Alzheimer patients, you know, and it's all about how you approach them, you know, and the time that you take.
Can I say as well, I think the mindfulness of it, I really found that it took everything away. All of your concentration is in, so that nothing else really matters. You forget about the day, you forget about everything. And funnily enough, I've been reading today that when we're learning, if it's associated with emotions and are physically doing something, we remember much better.
Sounds precisely. Yeah, exactly. You know, it makes sense, you know. And if you can send me where you read that, yeah, I love scenes that basically like make you realize, yes, you know, this is what I'm doing. This is, you know, it's the same with the ikigai, you know. It's like when you put like life purpose, you know, it's like when ikigai basically is a balance, you know. When the thing that you love, you know, is connected with what you are good at, you know. It's like some people can like, you know, listen to the piano, but they're not going to be like good at, you know, it will take too much time, you know. But and also like having resources from that, you know, it takes time to find that balance. But the most important is that you need to love what you're doing, you know, and doesn't matter what it is. And if it's not connected with what you have done in your life or your studies, or yeah, I have those and sometimes fighting with the thought of other people that have about me, you know, that I should be like in the NASA or something like that. No, I love what I do, and I don't plan to retire or anything like that. I want to keep doing this. And yeah, because I managed to like find that passion and at the same time help others.
Wonderful.
I can tell you now where it came from. It's from a website called Lectica. If you Google for Lectica, Lectica, and one of the principles they were talking about was that schools at the moment often teach things in really abstract ways, whereas what we should be doing is attaching it to real issues or problems or things that were actually happening in our life, so that we can then see how what we're learning is helping us achieve things. Or if, like you say, it's attached to things that are meaningful in our life. So yeah.
And also, you know, for children, I just have the pleasure. I have only like one presential in a school about 2 weeks ago. You know, I went to like it was like a science after a school club, you know, and I went to like teach origami, you know. But the main thing it was about like, because it was a science club, we started with like showing like how NASA, you know, do those folding first in paper to be able to have the satellite in the sky, you know, and also, you know, how we have airbags, you know, you know, it's all in the math and the paper, but it's also, you know, it's like the approach, you know, that they could start like doing that for science, but they will go home and they will do it just for mindfulness, you know. And yeah, I think it's a skill that I don't regret that I didn't keep trying, you know, but in Japan, for example, they don't stop doing. They learn from children and they pass it on, and it's a sort of a hobby that gives you more than pleasure, you know. And when you teach to somebody else, enhance that feeling, you know, because if you learn something like origami, you know, a heart, you know, just do it again and give it to someone with love and care.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's lovely. That's lovely. Brilliant. Are there any other questions, or are we pretty much done? No. So I think that covers everything. So just have to say thank you so much, Zulay. How can people get in touch with you if they'd like to know more or speak to you about more origami?
Well, basically, you know, it's like I'm developing like my own website, but for many years I have been involved in Origami Pools and Mobile Craft for You. They are non-for-profit and also part of a charity that I'm helping with the creativity. But basically, you know, we just type in Zulay Newell, you can find me in LinkedIn, and I'm actually doing like courses for like organizations and to like teach origami, but also like teach ikigai in a fun way, you know. It's like, and also kaizen, you know, that is like how you learn step by step, you know, to achieve a big goal, you know. You remember when we did like that little stamp folder, you know, that could become a wallet, you know, and that wallet could be like full of money, you know. It's like if you take the time to like care for others, you know. And yeah, it's all about the meaning that you want to give to your life, you know. But if what you're doing at the moment is amazing, and that's what I didn't hesitate to like, you know, to help.
Wonderful, wonderful. So people can look you up on LinkedIn and everything further, and it's brilliant about the non-for-profits and everything that you're working on. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's called Origami Pools.
Origami Pools, right? Okay, wonderful. Cool. So just have to say thank you so much. We've really enjoyed it, getting back to being creative and making some origami pieces, including this lovely heart. So thank you. And yeah, so, and thanks everybody for attending as well. I hope you found it as great as we did, and it was fun. And yeah, we look forward to seeing everybody at the next potentialization interview. So thank you very much, really appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Wonderful, thank you, cheers, goodbye.